G'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another NBA 2K26 Play Now Online game. In this one we're going to be talking about the Miami Heat. This is obviously filmed a while ago. As you can see, we're currently 11-0, so yet to lose a game. That could change in this one, as my opponent's also undefeated, sitting at a massive 1-0. But before we get into it, make sure to drop a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy. It really helps me out and gives me motivation to play and upload more. But as I said, this was played a while ago, so Miami are still in Tier 2. I believe the latest update, they've dropped them into Tier 3, which is a bit harsh, but I understand due to 2K ratings and that sort of thing. And we are going to be able to use Tyler Hero because the rosters weren't updated at this stage yet, as Tyler Hero has been out for the Miami Heat since the start of the season. This is the lineup we're going to be rocking with. They're actually going to be starting Ware and Bam in the front court with Wiggins, new addition Norman Powell, and Tyler Hero. But yeah, I'm just going to be talking about the Miami Heat in this one. Coming into the season, I think their over-under was about 37 or 38, which is a really weird number. I mean, with Jimmy Butler, they'd basically win half their games every season, so they weren't really a great regular season team. But only dropping a few wins without Jimmy Butler shows the faith that everyone has in the Miami Heat to come out and win, just another 40 games. But yeah, we're going to jump straight into the second half because the first half was really a really tough watch. And I mean, the second half will be a tough watch too, but I mean, I think you want to see if I lose or not. That's the real reason. But anyway, getting back to the Miami Heat, I think they're going to have a pretty solid year. I think as cheesy as it is, the Heat culture thing, I think Eric Spoelstra is one of, if not the best coach in the league, and he'll be able to get the job done. And I think they've brought in a guy from Memphis last year who runs a really 5-out kind of pass and move type offense, which is really effective. And that's one thing I did not see coming from this Miami Heat's side, is basically having the best offense in the league. They're a really pace and space type team. Everyone's shooting threes. I mean, I think even Bam's shooting them this year. And they're shooting them quite well. Norman Powell's been a sniper. Wiggins, I think, is sitting at 40% so far still. And then they've got just everyone's putting them up. I mean, Fontecchio off the bench. Davion Mitchell, the point guard. The surprising thing is that their defense hasn't been that great yet. I think they've got a few good defensive players. I mean, they've got a good point of attack defender in Davion Mitchell. The only downside is obviously he's very undersized, but he plays with a lot of heart and is quite good. He's no gimme, that's for sure. Then they got Bam Adebayo at the center, who's always in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year award. I'm not sure if he's won it before, but he always finishes, top 5, top 3 in that sort of area. And he's just a great switch defender. And I think he's only really like 6'8", but he's listed maybe a bit taller than that. And then it's going to be interesting to see if Khalil Ware makes a jump this season. Looks like he has a lot of tools, but can he put it together? I mean, I watched him go up against my Denver Nuggets and he just got moved out the way by Jokic. And I mean, Jokic moves most people out the way, but Khalil Ware looks like he definitely needs to get stronger. But the real tough thing that Miami's going to have to come to grips with is if they want to re-sign Norman Powell. Big fan of the acquisition. I mean, I can't even remember who they gave up, to be honest. I just know that the Clippers got rid of him for basically Beal and Collins, and I think I'd rather Norman Powell, to be honest. But he keeps on outplaying his contract value, and teams just have to get rid of him because they can't afford him. And it just goes to show he's been a great player for so long. I mean, even for the Raptors, he was barely playing, and when you go back and look at that 2019 Raptors championship team, that team was absolutely stacked with players across the board, with the likes of players like OG Anunoby and Norman Powell basically not even getting on the court. They were bench warmers, and now they're just premier starters in the league. And yeah, Norman Powell, great player. Kind of hope he can stick to a team now and just stay there for a few years because he keeps on bouncing around. I mean, I would have liked him on the Nuggets, not going to lie, but obviously can't afford him. And he's a little bit frustrating to go up against as well because he does love a bit of Bit of a foul bait, get to the line. Can't really blame him though, he puts in the work and he knows what he's doing. So yeah, if I had to pick, I'm pretty sure I went over on their win total just because I think the, Eric Spoelstra and the culture, he's never really had a big losing season. He always gets the most out of his teams, and Miami's not really a tanking type team. They're more of a free agent trade type team, not really a drafting team. I mean, they just bring in undrafted guys and turn them into decent role players. I think they've done that again this year. I'm not too sure who Pele Larson is or who that is. Don't know where they got him from. I think there's a Drew Smith as well. I don't know anything about him. Obviously, they brought in Duncan Robertson years ago. And I think, who was another one? Tyler Johnson. I mean, we can go on and on. They just were bringing in these no-names and turning them into serviceable role players. They just need, a superstar. Because Bam's a star, but he's not a superstar. He's in that awkward range, where he's maybe a, top 30 player, but he's not really close to being a top 10 player, which is kind of what you need to win the title. You need really a top 5 player to win the title. But yeah, as you see here, I've created some breathing space, up by 7, and this game's been very tough to watch, so I do apologise. As Wiggins hits as he hits a 3 there. Wiggins, quite fun to use in 2K, can shoot the 3 and can go in and get a poster, and now that I've finally started learning and using the dunk meter now, the game can be quite fun to try to get some good highlight clips. It's going to be interesting if the Miami Heat decide to move on from Tyler Hero. I mean, he's basically on a max contract, but he's injured and they're still playing pretty well. 6-4 at the time of recording this commentary, and that's, I think, a bit better than most people have predicted. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens when he does come back, or if he comes back. Do they just flip him before he comes back at all? Because if he does come back and plays, not great, the market's going to not really be there. But, that's a decision for the Miami front office. I'm not sure what they'll get. There's been rumours of Ja Morant, but I'm not sure if I see that coming. Because I think Ja Morant wasn't a fan of the offense and Taylor Jenkins last season, and that's why they ended up getting fired. Or was that the season before? See, I've lost my time. My memory's terrible. And I think Miami hired the Memphis guy to run the offense, Eric Spoelstra, and the Miami Heat liked what he was doing over there, and they went and brought him in for their team, and it's really paid dividends so far this season. As I said, I think they've got the best offense in the league. They've just been absolutely on fire, averaging crazy amounts of points per game without one player really being, heliocentric or averaging like 25 plus points. I think they're just a good balanced scoring team, led by, Norman Powell. I think scoring wise, I think it goes Norman Powell, Bam, Wiggins, and Jaime Jaquez Jr. having a great season after a bit of a down season last year. People really thought he was gonna keep progressing, but in basketball, everyone thinks progression is linear, whereas a lot of the times the rookies will have a good rookie season, a sophomore slump, and then they come back the third year and really take a leap. So I think that's what Jaime Jaquez is doing this year. As we kick it out to the corner to Larson, and Larson's going to hit the 3 there, and we go up by 13. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below on the Miami Heat. As I said, I would have taken them over, 38 wins. I think I would have taken them over 40.5. I think they're just going to win, half their games. I think they'll go like, let's see, if I had to predict now, if they're currently 6-4, I'll go like 43-39. And that'll probably get them into the classic play-in, which they're in every single year, it seems like. This is basically the play-in matchup here. Heat v Hawks. And then the winner or the loser plays the Bulls, basically. Bulls are always in it too. But yeah, that's my prediction. Bam. I don't think he'll win Defensive Player of the Year. That's going to go to Wemby unless he gets injured again. But will they have any All-Stars? That's the question. I think Bam and Norman Powell are going to be their 2 options. But I think Bam is more likely than Norm, just because Bam plays both ends really well. And I thought Norman Powell actually had a shot to make it last year, and since he didn't, I think that was his best chance, and I don't think he'll be getting the nod this year, especially if his health isn't great, because I think he's already missed a couple games, which isn't great. But yeah, I think they'll finish, as the 7th seed and then maybe win their playing game. to stay the 7th seed and be a first round out. Much like last year where they got demolished by Cleveland, and that could be the matchup again. But that's a long way away, so you never know what will happen. But yeah, as I said before, guys, let me know down below what you think of the Miami Heat and what teams you're looking forward to me discussing. There's obviously been a lot of roster updates since this video and that, so the gameplay is not obviously going to be that accurate as I had Tyler Hero in this one, and in future games the tiers are going to be still the old tiers from the start of the game, so teams like Phoenix in the last video will still be tier 1 for a little bit until I eventually record some new gameplay. But I've got a bit of gameplay saved up because obviously this series is about discussing and playing with every team and talking about predictions and how the team's currently going. But yeah, I'm going to let the rest of this game play out. It's pretty much over now, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.